Just in time for the Halloween season, Chivalry 2 got its second content patch, the Fight Night update. This Halloween themed update brings new game modes, new cosmetics, combat and balance changes, a new weapon and much more. Let's get into it. First and foremost, Chivalry 2 got two new game modes, Last Team Standing and Brawl. Last Team Standing is a 40-player round-based team mode where every player only has one life, and once all players from one team die, the round is over and the team with the surviving players gets the point. Think of Mordau's SKM mode, but with more players. The game mode looks pretty fun to me, but I'm not sure how popular it will be, as I can imagine many players don't like to wait around until the round is over after they die. It seems to me, however, people tend to play more cautious in this mode, which is a nice change of pace. The other new game mode is Brawl, a 40-player free-for-all fist-fighting game mode. There's also plenty of stuff you can grab and use as a weapon, like chairs, flutes, mugs, bottles, food, throwables, and more. This mode is pure chaos, but the good kind of chaos in my opinion. There are currently two maps for this mode, the Lionspire Great Hall and the Rathelm Feast. It has vibes of a peaceful feast that suddenly went out of control and escalated into a big brawl. Tornbanner didn't mention if these two game modes are permanent or only seasonal events. I think they will look how popular these modes are and then decide after. Besides these two new game modes, there also have been dozens of changes and bug fixes to the arena modes and team objective maps. The arena modes were pretty buggy pre-patch. Now, the warm-up timer should get skipped once enough players are in the game, so no more long wait times in between matches. Also, 2v4 matches and players getting on the same team in duels should be fixed. They also added an offline mode, so you can now duel or play 3v3 with bots. The Halloween update also brought Halloween-themed items. 3 different pumpkin helmets, jack-o'-lantern carryables, map decorations, ghost stages, piles of bones and limbs, and more. Seasonal event content is great and something I have always missed in Mordau. From a developer standpoint, it is a lot of work to create seasonal character cosmetics, map decorations, game modes only just for a few weeks. But it is very nice and refreshing to have these seasonal event updates. It gives players a reason to come back to the game, and it also creates the impression that the developers are actively working on the game and trying to keep the experience fresh. Chivalry 2 has a new weapon, the Rapier. The Rapier is exclusive to the Footman and pretty similar to other stab-dominant one-handers, like the sword or the short sword. It has a unique special attack where your character takes a step backwards and then lunges forward with a stab. The lunge is not very far, however, so it doesn't seem to be very effective at first glance. Next we have the new cosmetics. The update brought armor skins for knights, vanguards and footmen, and a lot of new helmets. The game slowly gets to a point where not every knight on the battlefield looks the same. There are also some new weapon skins, a new beard style and new heraldry. In total 24 new cosmetics, without the variations. Let's have a look at the combat and weapon changes. There is too many to go over all of them one by one, so I'd rather give you guys a quick overview of the, in my opinion, most important changes. There has been a slight nerf to archers. The archer limit per team is now enforced, which means less archers on the battlefield overall. Furthermore, arrows are now counterable for 250 milliseconds before impact. That can be useful if you see the arrow coming, but in most cases you don't, so not exactly the biggest nerf, I guess. Stab and overhead attack turn caps are less restrictive again. Tornbanner overnerfed the turn caps in their first content update. They didn't quite roll it back to release levels, but it should now be easier again to track your opponent's movement with stabs and overheads. Some of the one-handed weapons got nerfed. I've said it plenty of times, even when the game was in alpha, that one-handers are too fast in Chivalry 2. They have too much of an initiative advantage, and someone that knows what he is doing with a one-hander is extremely cancerous to fight against. With this update, the windups of the sword, short sword, axe, hatchet and cudgel got slowed down. The sword by 50 milliseconds and the rest by 25 milliseconds. Next combat related change is that heavy attacks now consume stamina. Also, jumping now consumes stamina. In general, I think that stamina pools are too big in this game if you consider how easy it is to regain stamina by countering. Also, the amount of stamina you gain after being disarmed is too much in my opinion. Dueling a decent opponent often feels like playing Dark Souls, where you disarm your opponent after 2 minutes and then you get into the second phase, where he gets a faster weapon and half his stamina back. In my opinion, switching to a secondary after being disarmed should give you 2 parries max. Hitboxes of downed players have been fixed. Previously, attacks often phased through them. Combo attacks after being blocked are now slower. Blunt weapons now cleave on kill. And sprinting no longer cancels when turning. The new update also brought some performance improvements and crash fixes. At least according to the patch notes. The game always ran pretty well on my end, so I can't really confirm if that update helped with crashes or other issues some console players were experiencing. At least for PC players, there is good news, as Chivalry 2 now supports DLSS. For those who don't know, DLSS is an AI-driven image upscaling technology for NVIDIA RTX GPUs that can give you a huge performance boost for a minor visual trade-off when GPU limited. The other big performance-related news is that memory streaming has been improved on consoles, which according to a developer response should help with the often reported game crashes on the previous gen consoles. Lastly, there have been tons of audio, UI and Misc changes. I will leave a link to the full patch notes in the video description below if you want to check out the changes in detail. There is also a list of known issues that Tornbanner is working on, like the implementation of cross-platform and cross-gen parties, which is still a top priority according to the patch notes. All in all, I think this second content update is pretty good. Tornbanner Studios seems to understand that their game needs fresh content every few months or people will get bored. Let me know in the comment section what your thoughts on this content patch are. If you enjoyed this video, then please leave a like and hit the subscribe button for more content. As always, thank you all for watching and see you soon.